Hey everybody, it's Lindy Tate from Taterbuggin. How are y'all doing today? Are you ready for a really relaxed Sunday afternoon live? Listen, can you hear the music? Let me get going over here. As everybody comes in, if you're watching on replay, comment #replay. I saw Trish come in. Is my microphone working today, Trish? I figured out the problem. I sure did. Let me do this and do this. Okay, now I can see my friends. Hey, Jerry and Beverly and Kathy. Hey, Opa. Hey, Carol. Can y'all hear me okay now? Good. Okay, Brenda, thank you. Hey, Lori. Carol's here. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Bev. Y'all come on in. If you're watching on replay, or on YouTube, wherever, you can fast forward through this part if you want to. Dolly, there you are already sending stars, you sweet friend. Thank you so much. Hey, Becky. Y'all, Maryland. I got Maryland. Penny Simpson sent me this one from Maryland. So Maryland is in the house today. Hey, Susie and Kathy and Vicky and Gail, Debbie. Hey, Vanetta. Oh, blizzard coming. Oh, it's the first. Who said that? Carolyn, welcome. First time you've seen me live. I'm so happy you're here. Hey, Kathy. Luann's here. There's another Kathy. Judy Zeppa's here. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kristen. I'm excited today, y'all. Hey, Regina. Seems like there was so much I was going to tell you. I found out why my microphone wasn't working. You have to charge it up. So it just wasn't charged. So hopefully I'm good to go today and you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear the music that's playing in the background, just a little light instrumental music. Jennifer, thank you. And Judy, thank you for the stars. Hey, Liz. Hey, Deborah. Is Moidle here? Hey, Moidle. I got to watch her live yesterday, and oh, it was so fun. I wasn't getting notifications, though. Y'all need to follow September Morn, Moidle's Magic, so you don't miss out. Hey, Norma. Cheryl. Okay, I froze up for a second. Let me show y'all these. Hey, Lee. There's my friend Lee. We've been itching to get together. Yeah, there's Moidle. My new earrings from Love and Life Jewelry by Trish Thomas. Be still. Aren't they pretty? I love them. So I had to show y'all those. Y'all got to follow her. Who said PMU? Let me see. What I miss? Explain the stars' hearts. Oh, they're like a little tip. I don't understand, I don't understand where you go to get them, or I don't understand all that. So somebody else will probably have to tell you about that. But, oh, Carol, you're so sweet. Yeah, I love the earrings. And this is my new necklace. Y'all saw me wear this the other day, but I just love it so much. So that's my new Love and Life jewelry. Hey, Tanya. Thank you so much, Denise, for those stars. You're so sweet. I get lots of comments coming in and I get distracted. So the music it's not going to be a new thing here. I don't even know if you can hear it. You'll be able to hear it when I'm not talking so much, hopefully. It's part of what I'm bringing to you today. So I stumbled on this new art technique one day last week, and it fascinated me so much that I just dove right into looking, learning more and more about it. This may not interest y'all. I hope it will, but it may not. Fun fact, I loved psychology. I still love psychology. It fascinates me. And I took all my college electives in psychology because I was really considering going into that field. And then through my classes, I learned that if you're wired like I am and you pick up on everybody's energy around you and you absorb it and you hold it in and you take it to heart, and it's not what you should do for a living. So I was kind of sad about that. So anyway, oh, you're getting jewelry, Jane. Yay. So anything that, if you marry art and psychology, I'm down. I want to hear about that. It's just so cool. I bet most of y'all did something like this, a little bit like this, in, like, I did it like in elementary school, I know, but this goes a little bit further. And this neurographic art is what it's called. First of all, I'm all over the place. That phrase was coined just back in 2014. A Russian psychologist came up with it. Now, follow with me on this. What you do, we're going to do some today. Let me get a sheet of paper out. Now, this is my watercolor tablet, and I'm going to choose this because I'm going to choose to use watercolors today in this piece. So let's say you take your piece of paper and you think about something that's causing you anxiety, frustration, fear, a problem you're having right now. I watched one interesting tutorial on this, and the woman was facing chemo. And so on the back of her paper, she wrote chemo. So whatever it is that you're worried about, write it on the back. However, let me say this. You don't have to use it this way. I've been practicing, and I didn't choose to do it that way. I chose to do some basically for the relaxation of it. For those of y'all who don't know, hey, Della and Jill and Tony. Oh, you're so sweet, Tony. Thank you. Hi, Joanne. So I'm wound kind of tight. Some of y'all may have heard me tell that I have anxiety issues, and which is a whole lot better than it used to be. And I just really home renovations, Penny. Yes, I'm telling you, this could help so many people in so many ways, I believe, if for no other reason than to help you conquer something that's causing you anxiety. I'm excited too, Lee. Yeah. Dude, yeah, lots of tablets of paper. Listen, I cannot quit. Hey, Hazine, I cannot quit doing this now. I'm on my third one. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to show you all of them, but let me tell you what you do. So it's best to kind of get in a quiet place. They suggest having soft music playing. And this doesn't have to get too complicated. I watched tutorials where middle school teachers gave this as an assignment to her kids. You can do this while you're just relaxing. It just needs to be a relaxing, what am I trying to say? Words are hard. When you're live, words are hard. A relaxing exercise. Let me say that. That's it. That's the word. Okay. So you're going to write on the back of your paper, if you choose to, whatever's causing you anxiety. Turn the paper over, and I'm going to turn y'all down, facing down here in just a minute. I just want to therapeutic atmosphere. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Because you're going to think about whatever it is that's causing you frustration, anxiety, your financial issues, a health concern that's come up, a health concern with one of your family members. You know, we're all dealing with a lot right now. That's another reason this just really resonated with me, especially right now. I think this could be such a fun technique. So you're going to think about that issue for just a few minutes. Shut your eyes, think about it. Then you take a few deep breaths. And very calmly, you just get to that place of calm and mindfulness. And some suggest using your non-dominant hand, which would be my left hand. I haven't done that. Most of them I saw just used whichever hand they wanted to. But keep that in mind. I'm just trying to pull together all that I've learned this week and just bring you this very brief idea. So if it interests you and you want to go further, by all means, you know, research it some for yourself too. But I took some notes. I watched the actual professionals and how they do it, actual psychologists, all the way down to just doing it for the fun of it, doing it for the art of it, doing it to see what yours turns out like, because no two will be alike. And I'm going to hush in a minute. I'm going to do it and then open up the floor for questions, and we really talk about it. Y'all can ask me questions about it. So first thing I want to do is I want to flip you back this way, upside down, and point you right at this paper, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now you've sat there, you've calmed yourself, you are thinking about whatever that is that's causing you anxiety. And you're just going to start drawing lines. You just let it flow. I'm going to tell you that the psychologist had a whole different take on it. She said to focus on it and then scribble really fast. I've not done one that way yet. I think that would be totally interesting, and I will do that when I'm actually thinking of something that's causing me a lot of frustration. But for now, for us, we're going to start on one edge of the paper, and we're just going to start to draw. Let our pencil just flow to the other side off the page. Hey, Nana. Good to see you too. Hey, Kimberlyn. So I'm going to start now over here, because I want it to flow this way and this way. Somebody said, in one of them I thought was very interesting, they said you could be thinking about, you know, life's up and downs, or the ups and downs in this problem you're having. You might want to have loops. It's just free flowing. It's whatever you're feeling. There's one thing I love about this is there's absolutely no right or wrong. And everybody's is going to be so different. Okay, so this is what I'm left with. Now, let me get out my sketch pad and show you. By the way, I did a whole video. I shot a whole video on this. And only to find out that I didn't turn my microphone on. And then I ran out of space on my SD card. So you're getting it live today. So if you wanted to do it the way the psychologist uses it, and you're thinking about that thing that's causing you so much anxiety, and you just scribble. After you do that initial scribble of frustration, then you take it off the page. And this is when you start to add your other lines. So you can do it that way as well. But the artist in me just wanted I wanted more flow, if that makes sense. Did you, Luann? I wondered if any of you had tried it or used it. That I find this so fascinating. And then, hey Jennifer, hey Judy, then just a simple Sharpie. You are going to round out every intersection. This is where the neurographic art part comes in, because your art piece is going to start looking like neurons in your brain, your synapses. Here's where it gets really cool and fascinating to me. There you go, Cindy. Is Cindy here? I didn't get to see Cindy. Maybe she can take care of that. If she's not here, I'll get it. Okay, so you can see I'm going around. We're going back over all the lines with the Sharpie. And do you see how I am curving out any sharp, all the points? And when I watched the videos of people doing this, honestly, hey Darlene, I found this so relaxing to watch people as they did this step. I don't know if you do too, but I know some of you say it's really relaxing when you watch me hand letter. And I don't know if this may be kind of the same situation, but as you're doing this, the more you do, the more your lines, these are going to look like the neurons in your brain. So, as you are creating this piece of art, basically you're transforming something that caused you frustration and anxiety into something beautiful, soft. It can retrain your mind when you're thinking about whatever that is that was causing you discomfort or hurt. We're going to get it even more into it here in just a minute. As I do this, you'll see how it's going to change the way this whole picture looks. Oh, thank you, Barbara. So, if you can see, we're just rounding these out, smoothing out the lines. Anywhere there's a point, we want that rounded out. To just sit listening to soft music, or even just in the quiet doing this, I've found it to be so relaxing. And if all of us don't need something like that right now, come on. I know every live, we have prayer requests come in. We have prayer requests coming in on our Tater Bug and Sweet Tater Bugs group. When they're really small like that, you can leave it or you can just fill it in. It's totally up to you. I'm going to show you some of the pieces that I finished already. And again, one day this week, I'm going to challenge myself to do this as an actual exercise. Let me see. Is smoothing the lines part of the technique, or you being artistic? No, this is a big part of the technique, Laura. This is a key part of the technique to smooth these lines. None of this that I'm going to show you today is my idea. Like I said, I've been researching it all week long because I knew immediately it was something I wanted to share, but I wanted to learn about it before, a little bit about it at least. I'm not a professional artist or psychologist, but I thought it would be something that could be beneficial to my friends, and if nothing else, just for the look of the art. If you wanted something new to try, I love new techniques, and but this one is all. I'm just bringing to you what I've learned through watching the tutorials and reading articles. Some people, well, they actually, he patented. Do you patent a word or do you copyright? Patent, copyright, trademark, whatever. The word neurographica. It's neurographic art or neurographica is what this is. So as you're going along and you're doing this, you're smoothing out the rough edges of that problem that you have, are dealing with. And do you see how it's starting to look like the brain, the neurons in the brain? You're watching football right now, Brenda. Tina, I know. I didn't even know. Well, what I used to do when I was a kid, I would draw things like this. I didn't do this step. I never knew about this step. But then I would color it in. And, this is something you can absolutely do just sitting watching TV if you wanted to. Anytime you want to relax. I just found it interesting, the psychology behind this whole art form now, which I'm going to go into a little bit more as we get to the next step. But I just wanted to do some of these because I personally found it so calming when I watched the videos myself, watching the people do this step and watching the whole thing kind of transform. Jennifer, you don't have to use a Sharpie. It depends on what you're going to color it with or paint with. Because I'm using watercolors on mine today, I want to have a permanent marker. So that when I add the water, this isn't going to bleed or, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, bleed into the color. Yeah, if you wanted to just color this in with crayons or markers, you could even just do this part with the pencil. All you're doing in this step is smoothing everything out, rounding out the edges. Like I said, it's going to look like your neurons in your brain, because there's a reason for that. So, and I found that when I start adding the color, I would realize, oops, there's a corner I missed. You just add it right in. See, that one's too little. I'm just going to color that in. There you go. You could use a crayon, absolutely. This is one of those things that if you try it, I really, really hope you'll share a picture of it in our group. Again, I find this so fascinating, and no two will look alike, because the end result is we're going to make something beautiful out of something that was causing us pain or anxiety, so that every time you look at it, you're training your brain to see the beauty in whatever that was. Does that make sense? Which, being the psychology geek that I am, fascinates me. This lady that I watched, like I said, she was thinking about her chemo journey about to begin, and she got a beautiful piece of artwork out of it, and every time she looked at it, it would remind her of the comfort of creating that piece of artwork. Hopefully rewiring those synapses in your brain to see your problem more clearly. It may be that all this does is give you a moment of relaxation, and that's good too. We can all use that. Like I said, you don't have to use it, as a therapy session. But I just know a lot of us are dealing with things right now, and it might be beneficial to somebody. Can you see how it's starting to kind of look like, what do I want to call them, brain waves? They're just synapses, neurons. And so this is the reason for the calming music today. I don't usually have music going in the background, but I thought it might be nice while you're watching me do all of this. And I know this feels tedious right now, but I promise it's going to get beautiful. Tony, that's when you be sure to watch when I explained it on replay. The design is just free flowing out of your head. You just let it flow. You can think about an issue that you're having, a problem, if you want to, and express it through the lines. Or you can just relax and, let your pencil flow. If you want to start out with a Sharpie, and not have to go over pencil marks, you can do that. I really loved this step. And truthfully, you could stop right here if you wanted to. You don't have to add color, but come on, we're going to add color, right? So I'm going to get to coloring, and I'm sure I'll see some more places I missed, but we'll fill those in. Okay, there are no rules in any part of this. There are no rules of color unless you make them up for yourself. If you have rules, you want rules, figure out your rules, and that's fine. Oh, Robin, I'm so sorry to hear that. The end, okay, this is connects to beginning, then I color. Yes, Debbie, absolutely. Yeah, great time for our marker sets. I'm going to get to that too. So I don't know why I've been with mine. My go-to to start out has usually been yellow. I don't know why, but you do what your brain tells you to do. That's the whole purpose of this. So these are watercolor pencils, watercolor pencils. And y'all know I love using these. Some people said to color your outside edges heavier than your inside. So they tend to look like those cells in the brain. You don't have to. I've got my little cup of water, and I've got my little watercolor brush. Wet it. Now let me tell you why I chose to do watercolor for the first 3 of mine. I wanted to really play with this technique, and I thought about what medium. Holly said, "Mother, he prescribed coloring." Oh, see, that's wonderful. I love that, Holly. You know, you could even, if you want to take this time now as you're going through it to pray, if you wanted to keep whatever is in your head from start to finish, maybe a scripture that you want to think about, and then it becomes a piece of artwork. There are so many ways. Yes, Beverly, you can overlap the colors if you want to. You can also have the same color side by side, because as one tutorial told me, energy permeates borders. So you won't, if you are looking at the brain and the colors. Yes, I'm using watercolor paper, Cindy. I sure am. And I should have, honestly, I should have taped this down to my board. I got excited and I didn't, so I'm going to do that next. Hey, Dolores. It's very therapeutic, Becky. It really is. Some people even, they really love Zentangles. So they would do Zentangles inside some of these open spaces. Beautiful. I'll show you how you can add thin lines too to enhance this. So basically what it boils down to is, as you're doing this part, you're getting a positive association with something that was once a negative feeling. I find that's so interesting to me. It's a simple way to work with your subconsciousness using drawings. So it just kind of reroutes how you're thinking about whatever it is, you know, you're working on. So let's, okay, this is where I want to think about this, because the other two that I've done, I'll start to color, and then I step back and I decide, now, do I like, you know, how that's going to look there? Do I want to go out from here and jump over here and do yellow? So we do that. And I chose water because I'm not a watercolor artist. I don't know really how to watercolor, but I've always loved to be around the water. That was always like a therapy for me, being around any kind of water. I still love it. It still calms me. It's still soothing to me. And I found that the tutorials I watched where they used watercolor and the movement of the water over the paper soothed me even more. So that's why I chose water. But I have another one started, and it will be metallic markers. I'll show it to you in a minute. So here's my old piece of cardboard I've been cutting from. So if you're using watercolor paper, this is kind of important to do. And I'm not going to measure. I should have. But, right, Pamela? My pencils are Crayola. just the Crayola watercolor pencils, and I love them. So I've got my masking tape. I'm going to mask this off so we don't get warp. It doesn't warp. Hey Donna, do you really, Holly, you do Zentangles? That's one I never really got into. I don't know why, but I love the look so much. I just, when I do them, I just didn't, I don't know. Oh, Deborah, I'm so happy to hear that. I thought y'all are either going to think I've lost my mind, or maybe a few of you will get as excited about it as I did and find it as fascinating as I do. And it's just fun, and it's so relaxing. When I first started painting, this is the feeling that painting gave me. It still does. And that's where my business grew from. I didn't know I could paint. Oh, y'all have never heard of Zentangles. How do I describe Zentangles? Can somebody help me describe Zentangles? Or Google it. Be sure to Google it. Okay, so now back to coloring. I'm going to bring in an orange. I need to sharpen that a little bit. I've been coloring a good bit, getting prepared for this. Oh, Jermaine, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, thank y'all for sprinkling. I hope a lot of you will find this to be relaxing and fun. Again, you don't have to dive deep into the psychology of it. You can just enjoy it for the art, the relaxation. But it fascinates me that you can supposedly stimulate new neural pathways by combining your art with your psychology, which I think is great. Yeah, it's pretty much doodling, and they come out, a lot of them are very elaborate, and they kind of bloom out with different lines and shapes. And Betty, you can do it because there are no rules. Absolutely no rules. The rules are make it look the way you want it to look, and I just love it. So I decided I liked the way the orange looked next to the yellow, so I'm going to go on and put orange around all of these. I'm sure there are probably art teachers who would tell you certain rules about where to place the colors or something, but I like the idea of this being completely what you want it to be, and you are placing the colors in a way that's pleasing to your brain. I think that's a good way to put it. You want it to be pleasing to your brain. Okay, see that? I missed that one. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to round that off. So now let's get wild and let's try some red. I'm right over here by the orange. And again, this may feel tedious to you watching me do this, but I just found that while I watched other people do this, it was really soothing to me to watch them go through this process. That's going to drip. Betty, I didn't tell you, but sweet Betty sent me watercolor, well, they're water pens, water brushes, which are so fun. And they're going to come in so handy while I do this. I should have gotten one out today. But you can just fill the barrel of those with water and squeeze it anytime you want to get more water out of your brush. And see, okay, I'll tell you right now, when I look at that now, those colors together like that just make me happy. It's like it pops for me, and I just love it. So I'm sticking with, if you want to choose all blues for yours, do that. If you want to do different shades of blue, if you want to color in every single one of yours the same color, do that. It's what's making your brain happy and associating beauty out of something that once caused you or still causes you pain. See, isn't that fascinating, Mary? That fascinates me. That, you can look at this and, watch me do this and say, oh, I never would have chosen that color there. And I just think that's fascinating because that's why they're all going to look so different. Every single one of these that you do is going to depend on how you're feeling that day, your mood, your attitude even. So no two are going to look alike of your own, and no two are going to look alike of anybody else's. And so I'm just imagining when I settle on what I want to do as far as, therapeutic wise, I'll definitely, well, I shouldn't say definitely, but I'll probably frame it and hang it in my studio just so I can always see that I turned a big problem that I was having into something beautiful that's pleasing to my eyes. Nobody else has to like it at all. So let's see how we like blue. I'm going to see what blue here with these colors does for me. Oh, I love it. Okay, let me take a break. Oh, I almost put my pencil in the water. Let me show you the first one I did. This is the first one I did. I love it. It just makes me happy. So we got that one. And then this is where I ended my second one. And I just decided not to, when I got to this stage, I stepped back, I looked at it, and I thought, I don't want to fill in these others. I like it just like this. Now on this one, I did what some of them suggested. After you do your lines, your initial pencil lines, you can take anything that's a circle, let's say a paint bottle, and put it down on there and draw circles. Or if you want to do squares or triangles. I just didn't want any, I wanted mine very rounded. I associate that with comfort for some reason. I didn't want any sharp edges anywhere. And so let me see. Let me find my other little pen. I'll put it over here. This is just a micron. It's another permanent pen marker, but very, very fine tip. So in some of these large areas that I had around the edge, I would just do these lines. Maybe that's not the right one. Let me see if my other one did better. Because they made me happy. I just liked the way they looked. They don't have to be like that. You know, they could be anything you want it to be. If you want to add, for instance, let's see, it's this one. I added dots randomly until I loved it. And so I've got dots here and here and here going around, curving. Again, that seems to be something that soothes me. Thank you, Tony. So yeah, on this one, I would probably go in and do some more dots. I don't know. I will just do it until I can't wait to see yours, Lee. I was so hoping that stained glass. Yes. Okay. Now let me go another step further because the psychologist that I watched showed her book. She does them. So I had to. I'm telling y'all, I got all into this week. So I even ordered this black drawing pad. It was on Amazon. So here it is reversed. Oh my word, I love this so much. So I used, let me move this one out of the way for a minute. I used, where is it? My white Jelly Roll pen. And so when I went, you can see how big this is, and I had so much fun on this black paper reversing it and doing these lines. Now, doesn't that just look like something out of your brain? I'm telling you. So I thought I would add the color with my gel crayons. I didn't like that they didn't show up well enough. I tried colored pencil. Nope. I tried Posca paint pens. Nope. I thought, well, now how am I going to color all this in? So I got out my Sharpie Gold Metallic. And I thought, oh, that's it. So what did Lindy do? She got on Amazon is what she did, and she ordered metallic Sharpies because apparently that's what shows up best on this pretty black paper. And they're supposed to be here today. I was hoping they'd get here before my live so I could show you some of those. But I absolutely love that. Tony, they're for nothing. They're for me. The tiny dots made me happy. Again, if you wanted to, where's my sketch pad? Let me show you. Let me go over here. We're playing now. So let's say you got, your lines and okay, if you want to get inside these after you've gone over with your Sharpie and you've smoothed out your edges, do they really, Lori? You shouldn't have told me that. Metallic water. Okay, well, I'm going to be back on Amazon. So some people like to take their thin marker, and this is where you get into Zentangles if you want to. This is all about the therapeutic benefits of art. And if you're associating this with something that's giving you an issue or causing you anxiety right now, you're turning that anxiety into a piece of artwork. Does that make sense? So then if you wanted to, you could even go back over and go this way. This can get as detailed or as simplistic as your brain wants it to be, because the only rule here is that it's just got to be pleasing to your brain. Whatever, so the dots made me happy, so I added dots. If you want to draw flowers in the middle of, you can do this however you want to. If I did this and then I suddenly wanted to color in every other one black, so I get a grid, and that makes my brain happy, that's all that matters. That's what you're going for. What's pleasing to your eye as you keep going, that's basically what you're asking yourself. Do I like the way that looks together? If you don't, move on to another color or another design. But in the end, I know you're going to step back and just be amazed at what your brain did. You getting it, Tony? Okay, good. Yeah, I want y'all to ask questions. And if I can't answer them, I'll try to find out the answers. Rightly, exactly. Yes. Yes. I wish, honestly, I wish I had done more of this as a kid, because I had massive anxiety as a child. I'm sorry, y'all. I moved my microphone. So anyway, this is just, you take those few deep breaths in the beginning and just relax into this, and see where your brain goes. See where all this takes you. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to turn y'all back up this way so I can actually talk to you again. Okay, like that. Okay, so tell me what you think. I want to hear what y'all think. Elizabeth, that's got to be good for you. Yeah. And so I'll finish this one and we'll see what it ends up looking like. But, somebody said they think they can kind of see a pattern in the way I choose my colors. Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah. Because I do tend to start out. Yeah. I know that on this one, as I came out to the green, this was the first green I tried. And it immediately, instantly, I felt some kind of calm. I don't know if it's the green touching the blue. I have no idea. I don't know why. But all I know is I looked at it and it made me happy. So I went back and started doing green in some of the larger spaces. And I just was happy. I thought about spring, green grass, golf courses. This fascinates me. It really does. What did you use making black lines? Sharpie, just an old Sharpie, because I was going to fill this in with watercolor, so I didn't want it to bleed. Some people that I watched went so far as to actually shade each area. They did their lines in gray and then would shadow in black. It's gorgeous. It makes it look three-dimensional. If this interests y'all, I really suggest Googling it. Go to YouTube, watch some of their videos. I am no expert. I stumbled on this. Like, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember. Little sad today. Oh, Sherry, I'm so sorry. Oh, well, I hope this will bring you some happiness, and maybe you can get some of that grief out onto, dedicate one of these to your mother-in-law and the way you felt about her. Think about her the whole time you do it. You might color it in with colors that you associate with her or that she loved. and it'll be, write her name on the back of it. And you'll always have that piece of art that is not like any other. Yes, absolutely, Lori. Yes, this is called Neurographic Art. So if you want to look it up, that's what I started doing. I Googled it, I read articles, I watched videos from all different types of teachers or artists or people who were just like me and they're amateurs who just wanted to try it out as the art form. Sherry, I could give you one. Yeah, I did this as a child, Rosie. I did, but I didn't go that step further to, I think that's what drew me to it. And I had to find out what it was because I saw the picture and I thought, I used to do that as a kid. But then I did that deep dive into learning about it for psychological reasons. And the way they, well, that's fine. It can pause. I can turn it off now anyway. We're done with that part. So you're smoothing out any pointed edges, any intersections. And I found it fascinating that it looked like neurons. And I found it fascinating that the way it looked as you colored it in and how different they can look. So yes, I did do this as a kid, but not to this extent where you might associate it with something that might be a negative emotion. So you're turning a negative into a positive if you want to do this for that reason. If you don't, do it for fun. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's what this is all about. No rules, just something really cool to me that I wanted to bring to y'all. Exactly. Any paper, grab anything you've got on hand. Grab a piece of printer paper or notebook paper. Forget the lines on the notebook paper. Don't worry about that. That's what we did as kids. We had notebook paper in front of us. So we scribbled and then we colored it in. And it was beautiful. Yeah, Becky, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Carol, I had fun doing it. I had so much fun doing it. I had fun, and the more I learned, the more I wanted to tell y'all about it. Because what do we do as women? We find something we love, we want to tell our friends about it. So thank you, Becky. That's so sweet of you. That's very generous. Oh yeah, those denim notebooks, those blue jean notebooks. Oh, they were so much fun to doodle on. By the end of the school year, it was just covered. Oh, I can't wait to see y'all. So it really excites me that this might excite you and that you might try it, because I can't wait to see these. I may put a frame around some of these. These are pieces of artwork. If it resonates with somebody that sees it and you want to sell it, sell it. That's another positive that came out of something that might have been negative in your brain. Thank you, Diane. Oh, Penny, you're so sweet. And Penny, thank you so much for my Maryland cup. I love it, love it, love it. Oh, Waynell, praying that this is so much. We need a decompression. And Jody got excited about mixed media just like me. It made me so happy. She did a beautiful mixed media piece. Oh, grandson has a lot of anxiety. Sharon, sit down in a quiet place with him and get him to think about, to ask him what's causing you anxiety today. Is it your grades? Is it something that happened at school? Did somebody bully you? Did a kid look at you sideways? Whatever it might be when you're a kid. I had a million every single day. And let him just sit there for a little while, scribble. If he's frustrated and angry, let him just scribble. but then smooth it all out, have him, again, in a quiet, calm place, and let him just color it in. I think it could be amazing to see how he feels about it after he finishes that. Doing the whimsical tree. Thanks, Sue. Yeah, that was so much fun. Sketch pad, perfect. I have some mixed media pads. I'm sure they'd work great for this. I just had this on hand. I have watercolor paper, and since I knew I was going to be adding water to mine, because I, thought, well, that's going to take it to the next level for my brain, because water is calming to me, and I didn't worry about the fact that I don't know how to watercolor. I just cheated and used my pencils, and I don't have any really good watercolors, but I'm thinking about trying them now to do something like this. Grace, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. And that's why I wanted to share it with y'all. So I'm just so glad y'all came today. And maybe some will watch it on replay and, find it interesting and want to give it a try there too. Lori, I'm so glad you were here today for this, because you got it down, girl. Now, are you an art teacher, Lori? Remind me. Oh, Sharon, that makes my heart so happy. Not that you're crying, but that it might be something that could even help, one of your sweet kids or grandkids. The colors in my fully filled piece, they make me happy. The only places I didn't fill in were my little squiggled lines, and I wanted those to just kind of stand out with the white. But if you want to, fill it all in, that's what it's all about. What makes your brain and heart happy. Elizabeth, I want you to try it. I want to see yours. I think it would be beautiful. All of y'all's are going to be so beautiful. And if it ends up being helpful in the process, yay. That's a big bonus. All right, y'all. So that was it for today. And I've been looking forward to this so much. Again, I was going to do it as a pre-record. And when that didn't work, I was frustrated. Should have drawn it out. But I thought maybe it's meant to do live so I can talk with y'all about it back and forth. So I just decided to do it this way. So, let me see. Oh, Lori, that's great. I missed somebody here. 5 months. It does bring me joy. Oh, Janice, thank you for that. That's, when y'all say things like that, I swear, it's like you have wrapped up a beautiful package, put a bow on it, and handed it to me. That's a sweet gift that y'all give to me when you say things like that. So I can't wait to see yours showing up on our Taterbug and Sweet Taterbugs page. I hope you'll share them. And so I'm going to go. Y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. Start your week off right with a wonderful new attitude about something that might have been bothering you. And I'll be back Tuesday with something else. Love y'all. Bye.